covering Macon, Warner Robins, and all of Middle Georgia. Clear, accurate, to the point. This is 41 NBC News at 10 on My 41.2.
Good evening, I'm Tracy Armbruster. A man is behind bars tonight accused of shooting a man. U.S. Marshals arrested 32-year-old Xavier Ottoman. He's charged with aggravated assault. Investigators say he shot 31-year-old Brandon Lloyd in both his legs. Lloyd was taken to the hospital and he's expected to make a full recovery. Dozens of officers surrounded the Promise Center today in Macon. But don't worry, as 41 NBC's Elaine Rackley shows us, it was all part of an active shooter training.
Go, hurry, he shot somebody!
Bibb County Sheriff's Office is training its deputies and the police forces of Central Georgia Technical College and Middle Georgia State College on how to safely bring down a gunman.
We respond to a scene and we know that there's an active shooter there, but don't know where he's at.
The participants completed 2 drills, one with 2 shooters, the other with 1 gunman holding a hostage.
They have victims in some places and suspects in others, and when you come across certain people, you have to quickly establish whether or not this person is a victim, whether this person is injured, whether this person is a threat.
Billy Skinner with the Bibb County Sheriff's Office explains by the time SWAT teams arrives, it could be too late. That's why they're working with school police, because they'll be the first to encounter the active shooters.
We want to instill in that patrol officer, look, you can't wait for these specialized units. You know, you have to go in and how you handle the situation really dictates what the final outcome is going to be.
CGTC's police chief, Bob Wilbanks, says time is too valuable to waste.
You just don't have time to wait for backup. When you got someone in the building trying to harm someone, you have to get to that threat immediately.
The purpose of the simulations may have been fun and educational, but Lieutenant Shane Rowland admits his adrenaline was pumping.
The fact that somebody's shooting at you, whether it's real or not real, you get to the point where you can see yourself in that kind of situation.
In Macon, Elaine Rackley, 41 NBC News.
The Bibb Sheriff's Office plans to do more active shooter drills throughout the year, and of course they hope that they will never have to use their training ever. Drive sober or get pulled over. Law enforcement all across the country are cracking down on drunk driving. The annual campaign started today and it runs through the Labor Day weekend. Police will aggressively target drunk drivers. More than 10,000 people die in alcohol-related crashes each year. 350 more jobs could be coming to Milledgeville. City leaders are excited for this change because the past 5 years have been a little rough. Correct Health will construct a new 260-bed healthcare center at the Central State Hospital campus. This facility will create approximately 225 jobs and will cater to a specific group of people. Governor Deal announced the state has submitted an application to the U.S. Department of Defense for a 3rd Georgia National Guard Youth Challenge Academy, and it will be in Milledgeville if accepted. Now, if approved, the YCA will create an additional 125 new jobs. Buckarama is back at the Georgia National Fairgrounds this weekend. 41 NBC's Skylar Henry has more on how this annual event is helping to boost revenues in the city of Perry. The Buckarama will be going on all weekend at the Georgia National Fairground. It's open on Saturday from 9 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, and on Sunday 10 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. General admission is $8 per person. Children 12 and under get in for free. City leaders and residents gathered at the corner of College and Oglethorpe Streets to open the first roundabout in Macon. Participants cheered as Superintendent Steve Smith, Mercer University's President Bill Underwood, SPLOST Advisory Chairman Jeffrey Monroe, and Mayor Robert Rickert took the first laps. Mayor Rickert says not only is the roundabout safer, it's a great look for the area as well.
This is 41 NBC News at 10 on My 41.2.
New details have been raised and new questions today in the shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown. Police say Darren Wilson was the officer who shot and killed the unarmed teen on Saturday. Authorities also revealed what may have happened before the shooting. They released surveillance video indicating Brown fit the description of the suspect who was accused of stealing a pack of cigars at a convenience store. But it is still unclear how this alleged robbery led to the shooting death of the teenager. There is encouraging news about one of the 2 Americans sickened with the Ebola virus. Dr. Kent Brantley released a statement from his isolation room at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. He says he's recovering in every way. Dr. Brantley adds there are still few hurdles he needs to clear before he can be discharged. He, along with fellow aid worker Nancy Ratebull, became infected with the virus while serving in Liberia. And more news from around the world, nearly 1,100 people have died from Ebola since the outbreak was first reported in March. The World Health Organization has declared the epidemic an international emergency and has set up treatment centers in the most highly affected regions of West Africa. The head of the Doctors Without Borders aid organization says it would take 6 months to contain the Ebola epidemic. After returning from a 10-day trip to the region, Joanna Liu described the situation in West Africa as a war zone, and she urged WHO to recruit more medical experts to help fight the virus. The Central Market in Gaza City was full of customers today as Palestinians made the most of a ceasefire extension that is expected to hold until Monday. It's to allow time for negotiations in Egypt on a longer-term peace deal. This current truce is the longest ceasefire since war broke out between Israel and Hamas last month. Russian tanks are traveling along the Ukraine border. While their exact mission remains unknown, the tanks are a sign of the escalating tensions along the troubled border. This comes after Ukrainian lawmakers overwhelmingly approved a measure to sanction Russia. An American couple in Indonesia has been charged with murder after the body of a woman was found stuffed inside a suitcase. Police charged 19-year-old Heather Mack and her 21-year-old boyfriend Tommy Schaefer. Heather's mother, Sheila Von Weiss Mack, found in a suitcase in the trunk of a taxi parked outside Bali's luxury St. Regis Resort.